Rosie just bought herself the planner of her dreams, and she cannot wait to start using it. But when it finally arrives and the honeymoon phase passes, she realizes she never thought about how she would actually use this new layout. Planners are just tools to help you organize your life. And no matter how good the tool is, if you don't know how to use it, it's not going to fulfill its purpose. Rosie, you've clicked on the right video. Today, we are going to talk about how to make functional planning easy. I'm going to be sharing 5 strategies to help you leverage the functional planning power of the planner that you're using right now. So stick around while we hear from today's sponsor, BetterHelp. If you've been watching my recent videos, then you already know for the past several months, I've been sharing my experience trying out BetterHelp for the first time. If you haven't heard, BetterHelp is a website that connects you with a licensed therapist who can listen to you and give you advice for whatever season of life you're in right now. After trying it out for a couple of months, here's what I've loved most about BetterHelp. Number 1, getting started is seamless. Trying to find a therapist is often uncomfortable, exhausting, and overwhelming. Now, I'm not super tech savvy, but with BetterHelp, I found it simple to sign up, find my therapist, and make my first appointment. I felt like BetterHelp removed all the barriers that would keep an introverted homebody like me from taking advantage of therapy. So for instance, if you don't feel like having a video chat for your appointment, you can opt for a phone call instead, or even a text. Everything is done from the comfort of your own home and at your own pace. And the best part is you can get the first month of BetterHelp for 10% off. Just visit betterhelp.com/Amanda's favorites, link down in the description. Now, let's jump right into those 5 functional planning strategies. I'm going to be using my functional planning system to demonstrate these 5 strategies that I've used for years. I want to help you make your functional planning system work for you, have it be effective, and dare I say enjoyable, because planning can bring a lot of enjoyment to our lives. It can ease a heavy load on our shoulders and help our mental health. I did a whole video about that recently, and I will link it down in the description. It honestly is one of my favorite videos that I've made in a long time. Number 1, don't be afraid of a little bit of mess. I know so many people are afraid when they get a brand new $60 or more beautiful planner, then you add on shipping, then you add on accessories, and you feel like this is a real investment. It could have cost you $100. Now, granted, if you use that planner every single day of the year and it serves you well, then I think it is well worth $100 for 365 days. But so many people are afraid of writing their name and jumping right in. That is the first thing I do in a planner. Jump in. This is your life. This is only a piece of paper. One of the things that gives me enjoyment about planning on paper is actually the feel of pen on paper. So don't be afraid of jumping into your planner and actually using it. If you are afraid of making it messy, then your planner will only be documenting what happened or what you planned out beforehand and what you thought would happen. And that's okay. Many people love to document their life that day, but that becomes more of a memory keeping planner, like what I planned out, what was going to happen, or going back after it happened and writing out the day. That's not actually using your planner in a functional planning way. And there's nothing wrong with using your planner that way. But this video is about functionally planning. So if you are afraid of just going in and writing all over the page, number 1, you could use a friction pen, an erasable pen of some sort, and that alleviates feelings of being afraid of putting things down on paper. Just make note that if you live in a very hot place, like I do in Texas, if you leave your planner in the car or anywhere where it will get extremely hot like that, then your ink could disappear. If you don't want to use a friction pen, because I know it has a different feel than other pens, you have whiteout tape, and yes, it's not the exact color match, but you can go in and white out things with this. It's just a piece of paper, and then you're going to turn to the new week and it's going to be gone. So friction pens and whiteout, remember, they are your best friends. If a page gets this scattered while you're planning, I like to check off things with a colored marker or a dark mild liner because it brings color to my page instead of black. And yet it still really helps me see what has been done and what hasn't been done that week, so that when I go into planning my next week, it's very apparent what I need to carry over. But I am never afraid to go in and just start writing in my week, because I am someone who really needs to have everything out of my head, everything written down on paper. And this helps alleviate a lot of my stress. I know not everyone likes to mark out their things with a big marker, and that is totally fine. There is room for beauty and functional planning. I am just a little bit of a messier functional planner, just very functional. But I also like my washi tape and seasonal stickers thrown in here and there. I don't think you have to be just one camp or the other camp. Let's just use whatever brings us joy in planning and serves us the best. All my discount codes and affiliate links are down in the description. If you're thinking of picking up any of the products in this video and you're not already supporting another creator, consider using my affiliate link when you purchase. It only takes a couple of seconds and it supports me more than you'd think. Number 2, you need a monthly view that has everything in it. That you know that is the one monthly view you go to put everything in. So if you are using multiple planners, say a daily, like a Planner Perfect notebook, and I'm using this as my daily list right now, but I don't fill in the monthly calendar here at all. If I did, it would just be memory keeping. It would have nothing to do with my scheduling. The monthly calendars that I fill in my weekly planner are just for memory keeping. I do not consult them when I'm planning out my month. It's memory keeping things that I want to record to keep track of things and to be able to look back on. This is not where I come for my monthly planning. You need to have one monthly that is your right-hand man, your ride or die. My monthly is this Ashley Shelley monthly notebook planner. And as you can see, it gets very well used over the months. I only use friction pen in here and I only use highlighters in here. In my planner, like I said, I'm fine with using other pens, but this one I have a strict rule. So anything that's going to happen that's big, that's either an errand or a timed event, that goes on here. This sits up on an acrylic easel on my desk. So basically this is like my wall calendar, but it's easier to flip through. It's easier to take down and change things. That acrylic easel is no longer sold at Erin Condren, but I know you can find acrylic easels and book stands on Amazon. Ashley Shelley does not have any of these monthly notebook planners left. They will relaunch. We're doing another collab for 2025, and I'm so excited about the cover for it. And I tweaked just a couple of my monthly colors. Every year, I feel like they just get better and better because I learn more and more as I do this collab with her. This is kind of how my month looks as I'm going ahead. I'm not yet into July. I'm not yet into August, but I am marking things down. See how bright blue this blue friction pen from Passion Planner is? It is so bright blue. They also sell refills for these pens. So I am really loving them. It's a bright, vibrant electric blue. And really makes stuff show up on your calendar, and yet you can erase it. So if my orthodontist appointment changes for my teenager, we just take that right off the calendar. If you have one monthly that you are always consulting, you don't write it in multiple monthlies, you don't go check multiple monthlies, then you know exactly where to look. Like I always have this up in front of me. And also any appointments or major things that are on here, I put in my iCal. Not everything on here goes in my iCal, mainly just major appointments or if we have to be somewhere. That way, when I'm out at the doctor's, I actually don't bring any of my planners, but I know that all my major appointments are in there. I know that's where we can all get mixed up if we're trying to write things in multiple planners. So have one monthly that you consult, even if that monthly is only your iCal or your Google Cal, because that monthly is where you're going to go to every single week to plan your week. That is number 3. Every single week, you are going to go to your monthly layout to plan your week. You do kind of need to have a planning routine for this. So I don't have a specific day. I tell myself just every weekend. So before the weekend's over, I'm going to go in and I'm going to plan out my next week. Generally, I've already written a few things on my next week. So this is my week right now, and this is my next week. So it has a few things written on it, but I will go in here on probably Saturday. Here we are today on June 6th as I am filming this, and we have all next week basically we've planned our gym days, what day my son's going to go shadow, the chiropractor that he goes to shadow every week so that I know what day he's gone, that we're not working together that day. I have when we're going to take our car in that week, what day we're going to Sprouts that week. So all our big main things are already placed on next week. So that has happened even before my planning session on Saturday. That just happens organically as the family and I talk about it, the boys and I talk about when we're going to Sprouts, when is he going to shadow the chiropractor, and from there, what days are our gym days going to fit in. But from here, this weekend, I will take this off my monthly and I will write those in. Then I will go even more in detail to plan out my week because I don't have that on here. On what days am I going to film? What days are going to be days to make reels? What days are going to be like a housework day? So that's when I go in and I plan out more my work time. But here is something to think about. You want to find a weekly that functions for the season that you are in, not what is the prettiest, not what company you just love the best because you love the ladies that work there and you want to be a part of their gang. I know the feeling. It's like you want to be a part of that crowd. You want to be in that Facebook group. You can be in that Facebook group without using the planner. You guys, I love Erin Condren planners. I have used them for years. Right now, the Erin Condren layout is just not the most functional for me. It does not have the list below that I need, the list room, to see my whole list, my whole week, to see an outline of my entire week of what's going on every single day, and to be able to keep consulting my list, to be able to keep making more notes, to have no coil in the middle, no flipping, so I actually see this out all week. This is what I need right now in my life. I know this because I made a video about it at the beginning of this year. In January, I jumped in and out of every single planner that I have. I'm lucky. I have a lot of planners because I review them all. And I decided I was feeling very unsure and iffy as the year started off and as we just came home from a big trip, which also threw me off about which planner I was going to be in. And so I gave myself a whole month to just try all the planners. I went in so many planners. In the video I made about that, that's probably not even all the planners that I jumped in. I just shared the ones that I spent the most time in. And after all that, I really had to be honest with myself that this was the layout that I needed. So not only making a certain day to plan your week out, where you actually go consult your monthly planner, and where you come back here and you plan your week out from that. This cannot all live in my brain. This takes a huge mental load off my brain to have it on paper every single week. My list, anything I'm thinking about, possibilities. And you know what? Just the other day, I needed to remember what day had we mailed this certain tax form in. And guess what? I looked back in my planner because I actually use it to actually record all these events. And I could look back and find the exact day that I wrote, mailed the EIN form. And then I can look and say, yep, it's been the 4 to 5 weeks that they've said, and we still have not gotten anything back. So I guess we're going to have to get on the phone and call them. My planner has helped me so many times with things like that. So although you might want to use a Laurel Denise, you might want to use an Erin Condren, I think being really honest with yourself about what you need out of a planner right now and what layout works the best for you. Of course, you have to be willing to use that planner. I love Passion Planner paper. I can easily add washi tape like I have here and add some color to every page, and it makes me happier about using something that maybe is not as pretty as Erin Condren, doesn't have the beautiful aesthetics, and yet just functions for me so well. So think about what you need in your planner. That's really a whole nother video. But if you are not in the right layout, that can make planning your week a real friction point, because it was for me. So that is number 3, finding a weekly layout that functions well for you, but also making it a habit to go in every single week and drawing from your monthly and really just spending a few minutes. It doesn't take much time, you guys, to just go in and fill out your week, figure out when you are going to work out, when you are going to get work tasks done, when are those home tasks going to get done, where do the kids need to be and when, what are everybody's schedule. Then number 4 is figuring out your daily. Do you even need a dated daily planner? That's something to ask yourself. So here are some dated dailies that I have used a lot in the past and my functional planning in them. And I love all these beautiful planners. But when I use a dated daily, I almost always come back to a notebook. So I know that generally in my life, I love the flexibility of a notebook for a daily because I can use as many pages as I want for a day. If it gets messy, then I can just start over on a page. I generally like 2 pages for my daily to kind of brain dump on one side and then work out my list on the other side. This is my Planner Perfect subscription that comes every single month. And a lot of times I love using these beautiful notebooks for my daily because they're fun, that they change monthly, makes you feel like you have a new planner. It comes with beautiful washi tape and stickers to decorate it. It feels very seasonal. I love the paper in it. You don't have to get blank paper. You can also get dot grid. And I think she also offers graph in the subscription box. And then I also use little notebooks too, like little A5 size notebooks or even a little bit tinier from Target. I used to love the Becky Higgins simple notebooks. She doesn't sell them off her site anymore. Planner Perfect has little simple coiled notebooks. So sometimes I love a coiled notebook for it. And sometimes I love these Planner Perfect books, anything like a Leuchtturm or a Stalogy notebook too. I have an entire video dedicated to my favorite notebooks to use for my daily lists. I will link that down in the description for you. But just evaluate, do you need a dated daily planner? Do you want to have something that has the date every day, that has your times mapped out? Maybe you do. Maybe you need that. At certain seasons of my life, I do feel like I need that, and I pull out my daily planner because I'm lucky. I have them sitting on the shelves. If I didn't, I would keep using my notebooks, and I would probably just write out a time on one side of my notebook page and have a list on the other side of my notebook page. I've done that in my Planner Perfect before. It's easy to just write 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 down one side. But I have all these beautiful daily planners sitting on my shelves. So when I feel like I do need a time stamp for my day and I just am feeling like I want to go into a daily planner that has a little bit more structure, then I just pull one off my shelf. This is not even the new Erin Condren where they've changed the layout on the Daily Duo, which starts in July. But evaluate what you need. Maybe you just need a blank notebook for those certain specific days. I use it daily every day. I use my notebook, but maybe you only need a daily list a couple days a week. Like you can work off your weekly planner and that's enough of a list for you. You don't need to go any more in depth than that, but really just think about and evaluate what you need and test some things out. Before you go buy an expensive daily planner, just get a coiled spiral from the store and kind of draw out the page layout of the planner that you're thinking of getting and try it out. Or see if that company offers a free printable. A lot of the companies do. You can print out their page and try it out before you actually make a purchase on a daily planner. Because I feel like a lot of people that use a weekly planner are kind of on the edge if they need a full dated daily planner. And some people only use a daily planner, especially now that many daily planners, the Erin Condren, the new one, offers you a weekly layout page as well as Sprouted. And I just did a whole daily planner video comparison, but where you get a whole weekly page view. And so some people prefer a dated daily planner with that weekly page view in there. And this is your weekly, which is a smaller look, but you like to have it included with your daily. So that's something to think about too. Every day, though, as part of your system, whatever you pick, you've got to go in. I look at my weekly every single night. I generally do this at night. If I don't do it at night, then I do it first thing in the morning. I look at my weekly and I say, well, what does tomorrow hold? It helps me to be able to go to bed that night to kind of know what is lining up for tomorrow. And that way, if there is something early in the morning or something I needed to prep the night before, it doesn't fall through the cracks. So I check my weekly and then I go to my daily and I make my list for the next day. I've actually been using this daily download printable list that we are about to list in our store. So we have some digital downloads available here at Amanda's Favorites. You might have seen some of the habit trackers in my planner in here, the monthlies and the weeklies, and those are already available in my store. But this daily download is brand new. It does have printing on the back. These were test pages, so you might be seeing that through the light. But I love this page because I come in here and it folds exactly in half, and basically I brain dump my day here. And then I come here, and this has kind of always been my weird method, but I've heard a lot of people say they like it. I like to see my appointments and errands up top. And then I come to my big download list for the day and I say, what are my first top 3 things I have to get done? and I just list those 3. And I don't go further than that because I wait until I get those 3 done, and then I pick the next 3 off the list that need to be done and put those 3 down. And then if those get done, then I look for the next 3. Sometimes I do it other ways where I just say, let me group them by kind of like what's computer work, what's phone calls, housework. I can also list them in categories that way. But generally, I do it by priority because my priorities change as the day goes on. As I get these 3 done, then I have to look at what time it is and see what's actually the most important to get done in the time that's left in the day. So I really just try to grab from my list as the day goes on. This download was made specifically for me, but I'm hoping a lot of other people can take advantage of it too, and it will help them too. It also is just nice to not look at the whole list when you're focusing on just the 1, 2, 3, so you can fold it in half. And it also just fits in any daily planner perfectly if you are out and about, or if you like to mainly focus and function with a weekly planner. That's what I meant to say. It fits in any weekly planner, and it can come with you, and you can just keep a couple of these in the back pocket of your weekly planner and have your daily pages with you when you need them. So this is actually something that I have been using this month as we tested it out. I'm actually using it right now today, and I am really loving the way it organizes me. I used to draw this out a lot, similar to this in my Planner Perfect 2-page spread, but I really like having it all printed. And very last but not least, how do you incorporate your goals into your planning? I feel like this is a big part of any planning system, especially a functional planning system. I have a whole video about how I've made this Golden Coil custom notebook that I designed. It's a notebook, not a planner, from Golden Coil. I picked certain specific pages and put it in here. This is my first year using it, and I'm hoping this is going to be my goal planner for many years to come, so that I'll always be able to look back on the goals and projects from the year before. It's all in one book. I decorated it with Marian Gilbride page by day little calendar pictures because I love those and have them left from previous years. I will link that up on Amazon for you guys. But this is this year, and basically I picked these monthly pages, month at a glance, and picked a whole bunch of them. And then I just list every single month what I think I'm going to be focusing on for that month. So once a month, when the month changes, it's just kind of like when it's the first of the month. I try to come in here. You could put a reminder on your phone or a reminder in your planner for this. I try to come in here and say, okay, what did I say we're going to focus on this month? And then I see what actually is really important, because I'll write these kind of ahead as I think of things. And then sometimes it changes by the time I get there. But it's going to be really easy to look back and see what got done, what didn't, and what I focused on. So I put a whole bunch of these pages. I'm even thinking ahead to next year of things, you guys. So I have a whole bunch of those, and then I use their bookmarks to mark the next section. And then I more made like a projects page, things I wanted to think about for this year, like project-wise. This is where I'm writing like my more personal goals for the year, which they're not like things that I honestly couldn't share, but I just feel like not sharing everything with the YouTube's world out there. I just like to keep some things private. So more just my house projects and everything can go here. My personal goals are on the next page. And then I put this Christmas picture here, thinking I might do some thinking ahead to Christmas planning there. So I put a lot of dot grid pages for all these other goals for years. I put some project pages. I put some graph grid pages. I have a whole notebook I have a whole video that goes through this notebook is what I meant. But I think this is going to be my goal project planning for the next many, many years. You could use any notebook to do this. I will link that video down below. And the important part of this system is that I actually come here every month and check in, and then I transfer those things into my planner. For the Passion Planner, they have a really nice monthly that lets you put personal projects and work projects, so any main goals that I'm working on down here. And I will try to come in here and check this every week too. You just have to make it a habit. And then I'll pull those things from the monthly to the weeklies. When the month is over, I come check here. What do we still have left done? What didn't I do? What is still important? And I move it to the next month. I can also think about what habits I want to track for that month. These habit trackers are in my shop, and I can come in here and make that for some of my personal goals for my habit tracking for the month and or for the week in my planner. So number 5 is goals. You have to have a place to put them. even if it's just a notebook, even if you're not using a specific goal planner, and you have to remember to check in with them, you have to have a system for that. I think reminders on your phone and or writing them in your planner on a specific day is a really good way to make a system that sticks with you checking in on those. That wraps us up. I hope that these strategies will help make functional planning a little bit easier for you, and that you took some ideas from this video that will make your own planning system work for you in whatever planner you have right now. Because I really do believe whatever planner you have right now, you can design a system to work for you. It's really about sitting down and thinking about what you need it to do for you and making it a habit to open that planner every single day and use it. Mine is always open. Mine is always out on my desk. I actually could not run my life without a planner, and I haven't been able to. I can't remember a time in my whole adult life, cannot remember a time when I haven't used a planner. It leads and guides my days. I would not know where I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to do or focus on for that week, for that day, for that month without my planner. I would love to hear your best functional planning tip down below, or if you heard something in this video that resonated with you and gave you an idea to change up something in your planning and make it work a little bit better, I'd love to hear down in the comments. Thank you for spending your valuable time with me. I hope you have a wonderful week, friends. Take care of yourselves so you can take care of others, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.